world of rock has lost one of its quiet pioneers. Mick Ralphs, the British guitarist and songwriter whose signature riffs helped define two legendary bands, Mott the Hoople and Bad Company, has died at the age of 81. The announcement came through a solemn post on the official Bad Company website, revealing that Ralphs had remained bedridden since 2016, following a stroke that occurred just days after his final live performance. No location or date of death was given, but the silence left behind by his passing speaks louder than words. Born Michael Geoffrey Ralphs on March 31, 1944, in the rural village of Stoke Lacy in England's West Midlands, his musical journey began in his teenage years, when he first picked up a guitar and never let it go. By his early 20s, Ralphs was already experimenting with bands, shaping his voice as both a musician and a writer. One of those early groups, Silence, eventually took on a more curious name, inspired by a 1966 novel, and became Mott the Hoople. With Mott, Ralphs found his first true canvas. But the band's early efforts struggled to find traction. 4 albums in, and Mott the Hoople teetered on the edge of obscurity, until fate stepped in the form of David Bowie. The Thin White Duke wasn't just a fan, he was a believer. Bowie offered them the now iconic anthem All the Young Dudes, produced their 5th album, and single-handedly redefined their image. The title track, a shimmering glam rock classic, and, over time, catapulted Mott into the spotlight. But despite the glittering success, Ralphs found himself fading into the background. Ian Hunter had taken the reins, he told Rolling Stone in 1973. It was great for the band, but not for me. I wasn't writing or singing like I used to. Rather than argue or clash, I thought it best to walk away. And so he did, but not into the shadows, into something far greater. That same year, Ralphs reached out to Paul Rodgers, then recently departed from the blues rock powerhouse Free. What began as an informal songwriting session soon evolved into the creation of a new group, though the idea of forming a band wasn't even on their radar at first. As Ralphs recalled years later, "We were just working on some tracks, that was it. No master plan, just music." But then came a spark. Rodgers had been tinkering with a new song, a slow-burning track called Bad Company. On the phone with Ralphs, he casually mentioned the title, and instantly Ralphs was struck. "That's it," he told Rodgers. "That's what we should call the band." Rodgers initially resisted. It was just a song title after all. But Ralphs was insistent. And he was right. The name would soon become one of the most recognizable in rock history. Bad Company, formed in 1973, brought together Ralphs, Rodgers, drummer Simon Kirke, also from Free, and bassist Boz Burrell, formerly of King Crimson. Though fans and critics alike quickly dubbed them a supergroup, Ralphs rejected the term. "This isn't about being stars from other bands," he told the Daily Breeze in 1975. "We're not playing gimmicks. This is just the rock and roll we love, stripped back and honest." Honest it was, and wildly successful. Their self-titled debut album, released in 1974, soared to #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 1 million copies in the US alone. The record's breakout track, Can't Get Enough, a riff-heavy juggernaut written by Ralphs, became a staple of FM radio and reached #5 on the Billboard Hot 100. That was just the beginning. Over the next few years, Ralphs helped power Bad Company's rise with a steady stream of arena-ready anthems. Tracks like Movin' On, Good Lovin' Gone Bad, and a reworked version of Ready for Love, a song he originally recorded with Mott the Hoople, became mainstays in the rock canon. Ralphs wasn't a flashy guitarist. He wasn't interested in solos that ran for minutes or showmanship that eclipsed the music. But his tone, timing, and songwriting were unmistakable. He made the guitar speak, not with complexity, but with clarity and feeling. Bad Company captured the essence of the 1970s hard rock era: raw, soulful, and thunderous. And while Roger's powerful voice often took center stage, Ralphs' sound was the heartbeat behind the band. Together, they created a catalog that resonated far beyond record sales. These were the songs blaring from muscle cars, echoing across summer festival fields, and soundtracking late-night drives. They didn't just make music, they built a mood. By the early 1980s, the band had run its course. Rogers went on to form The Firm with Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page, while Ralphs explored his own creative side. In 1984, he released Take This, a more introspective solo record that reunited him briefly with drummer Simon Kirke. It was a softer, more personal turn, a reflection of an artist who was ready to move at his own pace. But the Bad Company legacy wasn't finished. Over the decades, Ralphs would rejoin the band for several reunions, including lineups with Rogers, delivering nostalgic performances that thrilled longtime fans and introduced their sound to new generations. He also formed the Mick Ralphs Blues Band in 2011, showcasing his continued love for live music and blues-based rock. Despite his global success, Ralphs always kept a grounded sense of humor. "Our plane's not as flash as Zeppelin's," he once joked to the Miami Herald during a 1977 tour. "We take limos in the US. It's expected. But honestly, I'd be happy walking. Of course, then they'd think I'm just some hick." That down-to-earth charm, combined with his musical power, made Ralphs one of the most respected figures in rock, even if he never chased the spotlight. In November, Bad Company is set to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a long-overdue honor that will now carry the bittersweet note of Ralphs' absence. He is survived by his wife, Susie Chavas, 2 sons, Ben and Jim, and 3 stepchildren. But more than that, he is survived by the guitar lines that still roar through speakers, by songs that refuse to fade, and by the legacy of a man who helped write the loudest, truest parts of rock history, not with fireworks, but with feeling.